Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well today. I am really glad you are here. Let me ask you a few simple questions. Do you always try to make other people happy even when it makes you unhappy? Do you forget your own dreams because you are too busy worrying about what others need? Do you spend too much energy thinking about what people say or think about you? If your answer is yes, you are not alone. Many people spend their whole lives trying to please everyone around them. They change their words, their choices, and even their dreams just to keep others comfortable. And at the end of the day, they feel tired, lost, and unsure of who they really are. Today I want to share a different way to live, a better way. Real happiness does not come from making everyone else satisfied. It starts from improving yourself, growing a little every day, becoming the best version of who you already are. In today's video, I will share simple ideas using easy English. Every lesson builds on the one before it. So please listen until the end. Your better life starts right here, right now. Let us begin. Lesson 1. Why I should work on myself first. When people hear the words self-growth or self-improvement, they sometimes feel uncomfortable. They think it sounds selfish, like you are only thinking about yourself and forgetting everyone else. But I want to explain why this thinking is wrong, and why working on yourself is actually one of the most generous things you can do. Self-growth means becoming a better version of who you are. It means learning more, thinking more clearly, building better habits, and developing the kind of inner strength that helps you face life without falling apart at every difficulty. It is not about becoming someone completely different. It is about becoming more fully yourself. Working on myself is not selfish. Think about this for a moment. When an airplane is in trouble, the safety instructions always say the same thing. Put on your own oxygen mask before helping the person next to you. Why? Because you cannot help someone else if you are not breathing. The same principle applies to daily life. When you are mentally exhausted, emotionally drained, and physically run down, you have very little to give to anyone else. But when you are growing, rested, and strong, you naturally become more patient, more generous, and more helpful to the people around you. When I improve myself, I become stronger. Difficult situations feel more manageable. I make better decisions. I communicate more clearly. I handle stress with more patience. These improvements ripple outward and positively affect everyone I interact with. I also become wiser. Every book I read, every mistake I learn from, every new skill I develop adds to my understanding of the world. That wisdom helps me give better advice, make smarter choices, and see problems from a wider perspective. And I become happier. People who are actively growing tend to feel more purposeful and more satisfied with their lives. When you can see yourself improving, even slowly, life feels meaningful. That happiness is not just good for you. It is good for everyone around you. Stop comparing yourself with others. One of the biggest obstacles to self-growth is the habit of looking at other people and measuring yourself against them. This person is further ahead. That person is more successful. But everyone is on a different path, starting from a different place. Comparison is not a fair measure of anything. Focus on today's progress instead, not on where someone else is. Ask yourself one simple question every evening. Am I even slightly better today than I was yesterday? If the answer is yes, you are moving in the right direction. Small changes create big results over time. You do not need to transform yourself overnight. One small improvement each day, repeated consistently, becomes something remarkable after a year. Start small. Stay consistent. Trust the process. Working on yourself is the foundation of everything good that follows. Lesson 2. Stop living for other people's opinions. How many decisions in your life have been made based on what other people might think? What career to choose? What to wear? What to say? How to spend your free time? If you are honest with yourself, the answer might surprise you. Many of us have been quietly shaped by the opinions of others for most of our lives, often without even realizing it. Everyone has different opinions. This is the first truth to understand. No matter what you do, someone will approve and someone will disapprove. You can be kind, and someone will call you weak. You can be confident, and someone will call you arrogant. You can be quiet, and someone will say you are unfriendly. You can speak up, and someone will say you talk too much. There is no action in the world that every person will respond to positively. That is simply the nature of people. I cannot control what others think, and neither can you. People's opinions are shaped by their own experiences, their fears, their values, and their moods on a particular day. Their thoughts about you say far more about them than they do about you. Trying to control those thoughts is like trying to control the weather. It is exhausting and completely impossible. Trying to please everyone is not only impossible, it is also dangerous. When you constantly adjust yourself to match other people's expectations, you slowly lose touch with your own identity. You stop knowing what you actually want. You stop trusting your own judgment. You become a reflection of other people's preferences instead of a genuine expression of who you are. I lose confidence when I depend on others for approval. Each time you wait for someone else to validate your choices, you send yourself a quiet message. You say, "I cannot trust myself," and over time, that message becomes a belief. Building confidence requires making your own choices and standing behind them, even when others disagree. I choose my own values and goals. This does not mean ignoring feedback entirely. Thoughtful, honest feedback from people you trust is valuable. But there is a difference between listening to genuine advice and living in fear of judgment. One helps you grow. The other keeps you small. Respect others without following everyone. You can be kind, polite, and considerate without letting every person's opinion change your direction. Respect is given freely. But your life choices belong to you. Build confidence from the inside. When your sense of worth comes from within, other people's opinions lose their power over you. They become just words, sometimes useful, sometimes not, but no longer the force that controls your decisions. Your life is too important to be designed by committee. Lesson 3. Build better habits every day. Most people want to change their lives. They want to be healthier, more productive, more confident, and more successful. But many people wait for the right moment, the right mood, or the right circumstances before they begin. That moment rarely comes, and so nothing changes. The truth is this: success does not come from big dramatic decisions made once a year. It comes from small daily habits repeated consistently over a long period of time. Who you are becoming right now is the result of what you do every single day. not occasionally. Every day. Wake up a little earlier. Just 15 or 30 minutes can make a meaningful difference. That quiet time in the morning, before messages arrive and demands begin, belongs entirely to you. Use it for something that serves your growth. Read a few pages. Stretch. Think about the day ahead. Starting the day with intention rather than reaction changes everything. Read every day. Even 10 minutes of reading builds knowledge, improves focus, and expands your thinking over time. A person who reads for 10 minutes each day will read more than 10 books in a year. Books open doors that nothing else can. Exercise for a few minutes. You do not need to train like an athlete. A short walk, some stretching, or a few minutes of movement each morning improves your energy, your mood, and your ability to think clearly. Your body and mind work better when you move them regularly. Learn one new English word each day. One word seems small, but one word every day is 365 new words by the end of the year. Multiply that over several years and the growth becomes remarkable. Small daily learning creates deep long-term knowledge. Save a little money. Even a tiny amount set aside consistently builds financial security over time. The habit of saving teaches discipline and delayed gratification. Both of these qualities are useful far beyond money. Practice instead of waiting. This is perhaps the most important habit of all. Many people wait until they feel confident before they act. But confidence does not come before action. It comes from action. You become better at something by doing it, not by waiting until you feel ready. Small habits shape your future. The person you will be in 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years is being quietly built right now by the choices you make today. Each good habit is a vote for the person you want to become. Each skipped opportunity is a vote for staying the same. You do not need to change everything today. Choose one small habit. Start tomorrow morning. Do it again the next day. Let it grow from there. That is how a better life is actually built. Lesson 4. Learn something new every day. There is a version of you that knows more, understands more, and can do more than the version sitting here today. That future version of you was built through one simple habit. Learning something new every single day. Learning never stops. This is one of the most important beliefs a person can hold. The moment you decide you already know enough, your growth quietly ends. The world keeps changing, new ideas keep emerging, and the people who stay curious stay relevant. The people who stop learning slowly fall behind without even noticing. Books can teach you. A book is one of the most powerful and affordable tools for self-development that has ever existed. It gives you direct access to the knowledge, experience, and thinking of people who have spent years or decades studying a subject. 15 minutes of reading each day connects you to ideas that can permanently change the way you see the world. Videos can teach you. We live in an extraordinary time. High-quality educational content on almost any topic imaginable is freely available to anyone with an internet connection. Language lessons, history, science, cooking, finance, personal development. The knowledge is there. The only question is whether you choose to seek it or spend that time on empty entertainment. People around you can teach you. Every person you meet has lived a life full of experiences and lessons you have not had. When you approach conversations with genuine curiosity rather than simply waiting for your turn to speak, You discover that ordinary people carry extraordinary wisdom. Ask more questions. Listen more carefully. Learn from everyone. Mistakes are also teachers, often the most powerful ones. When something goes wrong and you take the time to understand why, you gain knowledge that no book or video can give you. Your mistakes, examined honestly, become some of your most valuable educational experiences. Stay curious. Curiosity is the engine of learning. When you look at the world with genuine interest and ask why and how and what if, you naturally seek out new information. Curious people grow faster than people who think they already have enough answers. Keep asking questions. There is no shame in not knowing something. The shame, if any, is in pretending to know and closing yourself off to new understanding. Questions are the beginning of knowledge. Ask them freely. Every day is a new chance to grow. When you wake up tomorrow, you have 24 hours that have never been lived before. Something in those hours can teach you something new if you are open to it. Choose to learn something today. One small piece of knowledge added to another day after day becomes a mind that is wide, deep, and genuinely capable of great things. Lesson 5. Accept my mistakes and keep moving. Let me ask you something honest. When was the last time you made a mistake and truly let it go? Not replayed it 100 times in your head. Not felt ashamed about it for days. But actually acknowledged it, learned from it, and then moved forward with peace. For many people, that kind of release is very difficult. We are taught from a young age that mistakes are bad, that getting something wrong means something is wrong with us. So we carry our mistakes like heavy bags, pulling them with us long after the moment has passed. But here is what I have learned. Nobody is perfect. Not the people you admire, not the experts you follow, not the teachers who correct your work. Every single person who has ever achieved something meaningful did so by making mistakes along the way. Often many of them. Often significant ones. The difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck is not the absence of mistakes. It is what they do after making them. Mistakes help me become stronger. Each time something goes wrong and I take the time to understand why, I come away with knowledge I did not have before. I understand myself better. I understand the situation better. I am less likely to make the same error again. The mistake, in that sense, was not wasted. It was education. I forgive myself. This is perhaps the most important step and also the hardest one. Self-forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing happened or that it did not matter. It means acknowledging honestly that you are a human being doing the best you can with what you know at any given moment, and that your value as a person is not determined by your worst days. I learn instead of giving up. When something does not work, I ask why. What can I understand from this? What would I do differently next time? These questions transform a painful experience into a useful one. Leave the past behind. The past is finished. Nothing you think today can change what already happened yesterday. But everything you do today shapes what happens tomorrow. Spending your mental energy on unchangeable events is a waste of the very real power you have right now. Focus on the next step, not on all the steps still ahead, not on how far you have to go, just the next one. What is one small action you can take today that moves you forward? Do that, then repeat. progress matters more than perfection. A person who makes 10 mistakes and keeps going will always achieve more than a person who makes no mistakes because they never tried. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep moving. That is the only path forward that has ever worked for anyone. Lesson 6. Take care of my mind and body. Good health supports every goal I want to achieve. Without energy, even simple tasks feel difficult. Taking care of myself is not selfish. It is necessary. Sleep gives me the energy I need for each new day. When I sleep enough, my mind feels clear and focused. Without enough sleep, even small problems feel much harder. Healthy food helps my body function properly and feel strong. Simple meals, full of natural ingredients, give me steady energy. I try to choose fresh food over processed snacks whenever possible. Exercise improves my mood more than I sometimes expect. Even a short walk can change how I feel completely. Moving my body regularly helps release stress and tension. Quiet time brings real peace into my busy, noisy life. Sometimes, I simply sit quietly, without any distractions around me. This small habit helps me feel calm and centered again. Reducing stress is an important part of taking care of myself. Stress, when it builds up, affects both my body and my mind. I try to notice stress early before it becomes overwhelming. A healthy mind learns better, remembers better, and thinks more clearly. When I feel calm and rested, studying English feels much easier. My brain simply works better when I take care of it properly. I am learning that self-care is not a luxury. It is a foundation. Without a healthy body and mind, my other goals become harder to reach. Taking care of myself supports everything else I want to build. Small daily habits make the biggest difference over time. Drinking water, sleeping enough, and moving my body are simple but powerful choices. These small actions quietly support my bigger dreams and goals. I do not need a perfect routine to feel healthier. I simply need consistent, small efforts repeated every single day. My mind and body deserve this same care and attention. Let's practice some useful vocabulary from today's lesson. Energy means the strength you have to do things. Focused means paying close attention to something important. Here is a simple example from daily life. Imagine two people preparing for a busy day. One person skips sleep, eats junk food, and feels tired by noon. The other person sleeps enough, eats a healthy breakfast, and takes a short walk. This person feels more alert and ready for challenges. The difference comes from small, simple daily choices. Sometimes taking care of myself means saying no to extra tasks. It protects time for rest, even when I feel busy. This boundary helps me avoid burnout and constant exhaustion. I also try to notice small signs of stress in my body. Maybe my shoulders feel tight or my thoughts feel scattered. Noticing these signs early helps me slow down. Taking care of my mind and body is an ongoing daily practice. It is not something I finish once and forget. Every day gives me a new chance to choose health and balance. Lesson 7. Believe in my own journey. Every life is different, following its own unique path. Comparing my journey to someone else's rarely feels fair or accurate. Each person walks a different road at a different pace. I am learning to stop comparing my timeline to other people's timelines. What works perfectly for someone else might not fit my own life. My journey deserves its own pace and its own direction. Success comes at different times for different people, and that is completely normal. Some people succeed early, while others succeed much later in life. Neither timeline is better or worse. They are simply different. I try to be patient with myself, especially during slow or difficult periods. Growth does not always happen quickly, no matter how much I wish it would. Patience allows me to keep moving without unnecessary frustration. I am learning to trust the process, even when I cannot see clear results yet. Not every effort shows immediate, visible progress right away. Sometimes growth happens quietly, beneath the surface, before it becomes visible. I remind myself to keep moving forward, even during uncertain or slow moments. Small steps, repeated consistently, eventually lead somewhere meaningful. Standing still rarely helps me reach my goals faster. I try to celebrate small wins along my journey, not only big achievements. Finishing a difficult task or learning one new word counts as real progress. These small victories deserve genuine recognition and appreciation. Believing in my own journey means trusting myself, even without outside approval. I do not need everyone to understand or support my path completely. My own belief in myself matters most. This mindset helps me feel calmer during moments of doubt or comparison. Instead of feeling discouraged by others' progress, I focus on my own growth. My journey is valuable, exactly as it is. Every day, I choose to trust my own pace, my own choices, and my own progress. This belief becomes stronger with practice, just like any other skill. My journey belongs to me, and I choose to believe in it fully. Let's practice some useful vocabulary from today's lesson. Timeline means the order and timing of events in life. Patient means staying calm while waiting for something. Here is a simple example from daily life. Imagine two students learning English at the same school. One student compares herself constantly to a classmate who learns faster. The other student focuses only on her own progress, celebrating small improvements. Over time, she feels more confident and motivated. Comparison often steals joy, while self-focus builds genuine confidence. I try to remember that everyone's journey includes struggles I cannot always see. Even people who seem successful face their own difficulties and doubts. This reminder helps me feel less alone during my own challenges. Trusting my journey also means accepting that mistakes are part of growth. I do not need to be perfect to be making real progress. Each mistake simply teaches me something useful for the next step. Lesson 8. Invest in myself every day. I am my own best investment, more valuable than any material thing. Every skill I learn, every habit I build, stays with me forever. Investing in myself is never a waste of time. Learning useful skills helps me grow more confident and more capable. New skills open new opportunities, both personally and professionally. I try to learn something practical whenever I have the chance. Improving my English is one of my most important daily investments. Each new word, each new sentence, brings me closer to fluency. This skill opens doors to new opportunities and new connections. Reading good books expands my knowledge and my way of thinking. Books introduce new ideas, new perspectives, and new lessons. Even a few pages daily can make a real difference over time. Practicing speaking every day helps me build real, usable confidence. Speaking, more than silent studying, prepares me for real conversations. I try to speak English out loud, even when I'm alone. Spending my time wisely means choosing activities that truly matter to me. Not every activity deserves equal time or attention. I try to focus my energy on things that support my goals. My future depends heavily on the choices I make today. Small daily decisions slowly shape the direction of my entire life. I try to remember this whenever I feel tempted to waste time. Every small effort I make has real, genuine value, even when progress feels slow. Consistency, more than intensity, creates lasting, meaningful results. I trust that my daily efforts are quietly building something important. Investing in myself does not require large amounts of money or time. Simple, consistent actions, repeated daily, create powerful long-term results. I choose to invest in myself, one small step at a time. I remind myself that growth is a lifelong journey, not a final destination. There's always something new to learn and something new to improve. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to invest in my own future. Let's practice some useful vocabulary from today's lesson. Invest means putting time or effort into something valuable. Fluency means speaking a language smoothly and naturally. Here is a simple example from daily life. Imagine two people with the exact same amount of free time. One person spends that time scrolling endlessly through social media. The other person spends that same time reading, practicing English, or learning a new skill. After 1 year, the difference becomes clear and obvious. Small daily choices, repeated consistently, create very different results. I try to treat my time as a valuable, limited resource, not something to waste carelessly. Every hour I spend learning is an hour invested in my future self. This mindset helps me make wiser, more intentional daily choices. Investing in myself also means being patient with slow, gradual progress. Real growth rarely happens overnight, no matter how much effort I put in. I remind myself that consistency matters more than speed. Let's quickly review the key lessons from today. Take care of your mind and body. Believe in your own unique journey and invest in yourself every single day. Remember that self-growth takes real time, patience, and consistent effort. It rarely happens quickly, no matter how much you want it to. Focus on progress instead of chasing impossible perfection. Small, steady steps matter more than one big, dramatic change. Each day gives you a new chance to grow a little more. Keep learning, keep improving, and keep showing up for yourself. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I truly hope these lessons brought you both English practice and encouragement. Please continue practicing English with me in future lessons and keep believing in your own progress. Every day is a new chance to become a better version of yourself. Keep going and trust your own quiet progress. Your future begins with what you do today.